I'm going to tell you a story, but the first thing you have to understand is time doesn't work the way you think it does. You can call me Oracles. I'm the one that's talking to you. Welcome to the cult. Oh, no, little Dim's not that kind of cult. Too bad for you. Alright, so. What was I going to do this episode on? Alright, so. If you're familiar with the other videos I did about the subtle and gross arcana from Mage the Awakening, this should make a ton of sense to you. Otherwise, I'll have to do a light amount of explaining. So, core concept from Mage the Awakening is this notion of Arcana. They basically replaced the spheres notion of more or less ways that the universe can be divided. Now, they work really, really well with the Dazabala 10 powers. There are 10 of them. They fit into the tree of life. It just works that way. That said, because I'm a nerd, I basically more or less chose some core concepts and started doing initiations on them, like they were the Dazabala Arcana. I started with Namen, Pratima, Pratana, and Nurta for Chalita. So name, image, legend, and dance. They have a similar subtle to gross relation in terms of Namen being subtle, Pratima or image being gross. Similar with Pratana being subtle and Nurta or dance being gross. Just because of the way Chalita works, or the way, reality's put together, that sort of thing. But I have some other ones that I think are pretty neat. Asravestata Sula, or Chaos Subtle, Adeza Suksma, Order Gross. And to give you an example of what I'm talking about, so the way Arcana work in Mage the Ascension, I think I might actually come up with a new set of 10, because there are 13 practices for the Alright, now I want to double check this. So, Initiate is 3, Apprentice is 3, Disciple is 3, and Master and Adept both have 2 for a total of 13. And then once you get past that, there is 1 for 6, 2 for 7, and 1 each for 8, 9, and 10. So it's another 1, 2, 3. So a total of 18. So I think I might put another 10 on the bottom for 23 of lesser practices, and then do it another 5 on top, because it's not for example, dynamics. That's what you get when you hit level 6 in basically anything. Practice of dynamics allows archmages to create phenomena that change according to conditions without the caster's conscious direction or complex programmed effects. Instead, the imago updates itself in order to maintain the spell. So, the number of things that you can do with that, the number of verbs that could possibly apply to that, is staggering. It's just staggering. And that doesn't even get into, entities or excision. And that doesn't even begin to touch dominions, because then you get into Margotmon and, Subsouls and stuff. So, and, then there's Transfiguration, and then there's Assumption. And, I put Assumption stuff in a lot of these, but, I'm of the opinion that, in general, making assumptions other than a Rupam Karoti, it's not very smart. Assuming the form, you can do that all day. It's something you can just do. It's something Jiva can do. But, assuming the throne, which is what that's supposed to be, that's basically being I opt out of Zarika Tattva. I opt out of physical reality. I'm not down with that. I think that's stupid. I think it is stupid to opt out of Zarika Tattva. That's my opinion. So, along the lines of these, an example of, well, what can you do with, like, chaos and order? Well, for the chaos track, I started with compel, because nothing gets stuff moving like chaos. Pronoti, veil, because nothing can veil like chaos. Nothing can make you not know what's going on like chaos. Facts. For perfect, I chose perfecting Zamyati just because of, if you've read the Wheel of Time books, they actually make a point that chaos magic, more than capable of doing healing magic, it's just painful. It's not soothing the way, like, order healing magic is. It's like, oh, you have a wound? I'm going to accelerate your healing rate, and it's going to hurt terribly, but it'll be gone. Like that. Level 3 is, for a Deza, is Ugote or Weaving. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, they have Weaving as level 3. If I was making the system, I would put, like, Stitching at 3. No, I'd put, like, Stitching at, like, 2. And Braiding at, like, 3. And I would hold off on Weaving till 4 or 5. But that's just me. Like, I didn't make the system, so what else? They want Weaving to be at 3. I guess that's at 3. So for patterning and I managed to do patterning and unwinding, like, kind of sort of at the same time. So for chaos, there's patterning. May seem strange, but it's actually not. Because chaos is a lot of times where patterns begin to form before they start into, like, actually becoming full-on Adeza ordered patterns. Ovestati for spin, or for twist. Ovestiati for, so Asabe Stada does the Ovestati, in this case. Chaos does the spin. And order does the unspin. Why? Because order is the place where stuff breaks down. Chaos. Create. Order. Annihilate. There is nothing as full of order as something that has been completely wiped away. Kind of scary. Pradivadetati. And Anuyachati. I'm already forgetting these. You know what, I'm going to move over to... Oh, this is a cute one. So, the 3 that I came up with. Rather, the 3 pair I came up with after Nabit Pratima and Paratana Nurta were Astavestara Adeza, Chaos and Order, Sidabija Mantrabala, Seed of Magic and Magical Power, and Satya and Asatya Abba, Truth and the Beautiful Lie. See if I can remember these ones. For Truth, Compel, Rule, Weave, Correct, Erase. For the Beautiful Lie, Know, Shield, Heal, Be a Remedy, and Make Real. I can get into the higher level stuff. Honestly, like, the lower stuff is honestly, for the most part, more interesting. Prasida Bija and Mantrabala. At the first level, there is Unveiling for Sita Bisha. unveil. It's basically like you unveil your own seed of magic. And then Balena Karyati, compel. So I unveil my seed of magic, and then I compel my magical power. Pretty handy, I think. For the next one, it was Sidabija Salantram Rapiari and Mantrabala Raksari, which basically means being able to shield your seed of magic and being able to rule your own magical energy. Sidabija Jayati and Mantrabala Uvote, which is correct an error. And weave. So correct an error in a Sita Bija. Pretty important in my opinion. And Uvote, or being able to weave Mantra Bala, or magical power. Which is like, I guess, largely the goal in general. Sebate and Vidudati. Alright, we'll come back to those two, because I'm blanking on them. Should have written down the English before I did this. I'm way too confident about remembering what the English is looking at the Sanskrit. Oh well. I'll get over it. Level 5 is Karoti, or Make for Sita Bija. That's just mad cool. Make and Unmake is basically what the level 5 is, which I guess makes sense from a gameplay perspective, but, like, in terms of real life, being able to just, like, make something, even in a Sula way, is, like, scary powerful. Samharati, Dispel, from Mantrabala. Because at level 5, basically, what are you doing when you're unmaking magical power? You're dispelling it. Like, it's just what you're doing. Sambarayati, for level 6 in Sita Bisha, or Awaken. Because, like, once you awaken someone Sita Bija, you shouldn't have to come back and keep reawakening it. That's dumb. That's like the definition of dynamics. Oh. There's someone put a Nidra Mooter on that person. Sambarayati. It's gone now. But a similar way of Mantrabala I did for Dynamics Margati, so it could be do a Margati Samharati, so you could like send a dispel off the like to do something, and like it will stop when it's done, as opposed to like when you're still paying attention to it. Which, especially for something like a dispel, that's mad handy. I'll come back to 7. Because I'm not remembering what it is right now. I'm not remembering what 7 for Sita Bija is. I know that for Mantra Bala, it's Adiyati, or Feed. In case you like encounter a an entity or a non-entity that feeds on magic, and like you want to make a deal to get rid of it, like you'll feed it a little bit of magic just to get it to go away. That would be how you do it, because that's an entity's thing. Level 8 for Sita Bija is Nikanati, Nikanati, or Implant. And Mantravala Karnati is Twist, I believe. We're level 9, Sita Bija, Puspayati, Blossom, or Bloom. And for level 10, Adiportati, or Transcend. Because at that point, like, you still have your Sita Bija. It's what you're basically, like, starting with. But, like, you're basically working so far past it, you may as well be working without it, but you still have it. So that's why there's Transcend there. Alright. Oh no. I gotta look up what I actually put on here. That's so silly. Oh well. Well, 7 days of practice, that's handy. That's good to know. Yeah, that's the thing about like writing down a word like sabate. It can, oh, it's cultivate. Okay. Level 4 for Seed of Bija is cultivate. Because that makes sense for a seed. And what is Vinodati? Okay, Vinodati might be the spell. What? Seriously? Did I really do that way? I didn't think I did it that way. It might be remove, actually. Sigh. Alright, I'm going to look up Brihati and then move on. Brihati. Oh, okay. That's why it's at 7. So Brihati is root up. Brihati in the case of Seed of Bija is you. You've been doing the worst stuff with your Seed of Magic. Root out. No more of that for you. And now that I've done that, I'm actually going to look up Parivatate. Parivatate. No, it's not alternate. Turn a different, change, be reborn in. Wow, I'm really glad I looked that up. I just found the word for be reborn in. That's fantastic. Exchange. That's it. Parivatate is for exchange. And that's most interesting because level 10 for Mantra Bala is Bobodi. So you can be transformed into magical power. Because that's pretty awesome. This is Oracle, I'm going to sing myself out. Be careful not to get dispelled if you turn yourself into Mantra Bala. Dream safely out there in the weed, now peace out.